Welcome back to Our Town, Our Time on RTV 32. We are upstairs at the Heritage Center of Clark County. I'm with Roger Chirac. Tell me about this archway here that we walked through as we came to the upstairs.
Well, this is an arch that we recreated. It was actually used at a trade show when the Springfield manufacturers would go to a trade show to help show their wares. They created this. That stained glass is a very striking piece.
They hold this huge thing to their trade shows?
Yeah. Oh, they hold a lot. We'll see more of that later.
Wow.
But their trade shows were how you really got to, the communication wasn't nearly as easy as it is today with television, radio, and
now it's
all
obnoxious.
the ways so you would go to trade shows and try to get as many people there as you could to see your product.
Okay.
And then try to sell it through that.
Okay.
So yeah, they were quite elaborate in what they would do.
So up here, tell us a little bit about what is in this gallery.
This is the second floor industrial and agricultural gallery. So there's a little bit of everything up here, from pianos to cars, to farm implements.
So let's just kind of go around. Over here we have some Home City beer, some different things. There were distilleries, there were beer manufacturers.
Yeah, again, Springfield, because the National Road stopped here, developed very quickly with a fairly large population. And so anything that you needed, again, transportation was difficult, so you produced it here.
And alcohol was needed, I am sure.
Alcohol was definitely needed on the frontier. And so there were distilleries, there were breweries, there were mills. People would make things for the farms that were developing. So you would make incubators for chickens, plows, shears, seeders, all those agricultural implements were all manufactured here, and especially the most prominent one would have been the Champion Reaper, which developed a little later on. And so all that really put Springfield on the map. Springfield was the second largest manufacturing city in the world in the late 1800s.
And who would have thought that? Think about that. That's amazing.
Yeah, sometimes that's when you think currently
there's no manufacturing
you don't really
anywhere.
Appreciate the significance of that.
Sure, you see the buildings, but nobody really knows. What went on there. Then if we come over this way, sewing machines were produced here.
Sewing machines, fans. Those are Robbins and Myers fans.
Oh, I didn't realize Robbins and Myers did fans. Okay.
Yeah,
the piano back here.
Washers and dryers around the corner. And as you can see in this room, the ceilings are rather high. They're 32 feet tall. And so what we did was to fill some of that space, we took some of the signs that were available in the community and we hung them. And some of them are fluorescent. Some of them are stained glass back behind us. And it just gives you really something to look at. Everywhere you look, there's something to see that's unique about this community.
That's right. And it's pretty cool because you remember some of the places that were in business downtown. And from around the area. Now, tell us a little bit about the car that's behind us here.
Well, that is a Westcott car. Of course, Burton Westcott basically produced automobiles. He brought his assembly plant here to Springfield and started putting together his cars. Became mayor of Springfield, and most famously and maybe most importantly to us currently, commissioned Frank Lloyd Wright to build his home on East High Street.
Right.
And so that's,
which is another fantastic piece of history. If people haven't seen, need to stop by there.
They need to stop there, and then they can stop here and see the car that he produced.
Right.
That helped make his wealth for him.
And was this the main car he made, or did he make different models?
He made different models, but this is the one we have on display.
Okay. And then over here we have the Dave Hobson area and some political.
It's a political exhibit. Again, we started Clark County with the way things have changed recently. With our Speaker Boehner now represents Clark County.
Right.
So this is the second time that Clark County's had the Speaker of the House. First time was, excuse me, J. Warren Keifer, who represented Clark County right after the Civil War, became Speaker of the House.
Oh, he did.
And so that's his portrait over there. We have the gavel that he used and several other artifacts from that family and from Samuel Schellenberger, who was another prominent politician from the area that represented us in the nation's capital. This exhibit really tries to tie together the educational aspects of our government.
Right.
The separation of powers, how political parties formed, all those things that are important to us as a democracy and a republic. We have those on display, and we have them at differing levels for the different age groups that
That's
come
right.
through.
Because a lot of schools come in and do field trips and do
Yes.
different things and get their information here from the Heritage Center,
Typically
don't
third
they?
grade through middle school.
Right.
And we do have a curriculum set that helps, as they come through, really helps reinforce those things that they're trying to learn while they're at the school day.
Well, and what a help to them, because if you're a visual type person, they get to see. It's a little bit better than just sitting in a classroom and listening.
It's almost hands-on, and some things
Almost,
are hands-on.
yeah.
We do have several exhibits in that.
Yeah, you have some
particular display
interactive.
that are interactive.
Right, that's great. Now, if somebody is cleaning out the garage or cleaning up or cleaning out the attic or their parents and they come across something, can they donate it to you? Will somebody come and take a look at it, or?
Absolutely. We encourage people, it's Clark County history, if you have things in your home that you appreciate and have been in the family for a few years, and yet your children don't seem to have that same interest.
Right. Or they're not in Clark County.
Call us and let us talk to you. You may find that we have a real interest in it.
Sure.
And one of the things we do guarantee is that we collect and preserve and interpret the history of Clark County. That is our mission. So we're happy to collect, and when you give it to us, we will preserve it.
And take care of it.
We will keep it. We will not sell it. And will eventually, at different times, be on display for the public.
Right.
This is a public history museum.
Well, that's
local
fantastic.
County history.
And even if you're on the fence and you're not sure, because I personally am thinking a couple items I'm not real sure, you'll help talk people through that, or if they make a time to come in and bring them into you, or.
Sure. We'll be happy to talk to you. We've had people bring down old varsity jackets and not think much about it, but
it's something that's part of the history.
But when North High School was tore down and the city reconsolidated into one high school, that now becomes history, and we now have some of those things in our collection.
Right. And back behind us, down the hallway here, you have all the different military.
That's the military gallery, the Service to America, and some significant artifacts in there. The Civil War tent from the Hunt brothers, one of the few surviving tents from the Civil War.
Wow.
Used west of the Alleghenies. The armistice canister that contained the armistice for World War I was handled by a Clark County native, and he brought it home. That's in our collection.
Wow.
So there are some very, very unique pieces that are part of this collection.
Right, and it goes from the Civil War on up to?
All the way through Desert Storm, I believe.
Wow. That's great. Well, stay with us. We're going to come back and visit some other parts of the Heritage Center of Clark County. Roger, stay with us.
I'll be here.
Great. We'll be right back to Our Town, Our Time on RTV 32.